Hello, good evening. Hello, folks. Hello, family. Hello, friends, visitors from around the world, wherever you are. So, almost didn't make it tonight. I'm in one of those conditions. I look at the charts and I kind of go, oh my God, what am I doing? What's happening to the world? Woe is me. What's happening to me? What about everyone else out there? If I'm feeling it like this, what about everyone else? So, since I like to do my own homework in advance, do my own research, where let's say I look at the charts and I kind of go, oh yeah, no wonder it's because of this, or oh, it's because of that. I saw that yesterday. That's been building up for months. Oh, I'm getting slammed right now because of that one. And don't worry about it because it's just the moon zooming over. No worries. But every now and again, you get slammed. And I'm not saying it's in a good way or a bad way. It's just like getting slammed. So I was just describing it to my friend, like, let's just say you're out enjoying life and you enjoying the ups and downs. You went here, you went there, you did your groceries, you did your chores, you checked in with friends and family, children, parents, pets, maybe a couple of bits of browsing on the social media gossip, and then you reach a point in the day like, oh, okay, and you just kind of want to check out. But for me, that checkout period today felt like my whole day, as if I was at some sort of very weird, surreal amusement park, and I was on the merry-go-round, and I was on the roller coasters, and the bumper cars, and all of that stuff, and just thinking, oh, this is great, this is life. It's an analogy of life. All these these games we play, gaming and fairgrounds and county fairs, and it's an analogy for life. The roller coasters, whoa, it goes up, oh, it goes down, oh, I'm gonna vomit, oh no, I feel great, and then it's all over. And you leave the fairground, you get off the machines, and you start to feel, well, like I'm feeling, like I feel a very kind of weird, disoriented, a bit kind of nauseous, vomity, like, oh, I just want to go to the beach and have a beer, stare at the sunset, and just sit there and be a blob. That's it. So that's where I am right now. And I thought, well, okay, that's great, but the world ticks on. And no matter how much your tummy might be rumbling from, global anxiety, or maybe you've got personal anxiety for whatever reason, you got to keep moving. Life is like a massive wheel of fortune. It just keeps going anyway. It's nothing personal. It just keeps going. The planet's going to keep spinning. We're going to have crises points. We're going to have moments of serenity, and all of it combined. So I'm just doing a show. Let me just show you a quick glimpse of the chart from yesterday and a little update. Hold on. So there we are. I've been a bit lazy because I do a lot of stuff during the week on my Rumble channel where I really let it all rip. I can't do it here on YouTube, so I'm just sticking to the little things we can do together, like our little healing treatments. So this is from the 24th, and then yesterday the 25th. Today's the 26th. The main issue is that the moon is moving on, and the moon is right up here at the cusp right now. So that's a very sensitive point. And so when we have cusp issues like Mercury, Moon, Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Uranus, things can get a little bit wobbly. But luckily, we have medicine. Oh, I've got a booking for a reading already. I can see it. It just came through. Hold on, folks. Cheers, everybody. Medicine. Just heavy drugs. Now let me see if I can try and explain better what I'm talking about. Let's have a look. So, excuse me, right now, tonight, everything looks pretty much like this, but the colors have changed a little bit. And the moon has moved on. I don't want to stress about it too much because otherwise I'll just compound the stress. The moon was just crossing over here. Okay, so that's another right over there. You see that little? That's the cusp. Okay, the cusps in general, in my experience, they represent change because we're moving from one energy field to another energy field. In this case, Sagittarius to Capricorn in terms of your feelings. So you might have been feeling like, oh, I just want to be out there in the big wide world. I want to be connected to nature. I want to go on huge road trips. I want to, you know, go climb a mountain or go on some big hike in nature. And then you cross over the cusp, Moon and Capricorn, and the Moon and Capricorn is saying, calm down. You need to get serious. You're living in a very restricted, three-dimensional, practical world, and you have to be mature and grow up and adapt accordingly. So shut up with your wild, crazy, adventurous lunacy. Oh, okay. And similarly, you know, Capricorn to Aquarius, Pisces to Aries, Taurus to Gemini, cusp, crisis degrees, and now Mercury is sitting right there on the cusp. So it's a lot of, the way I feel it is a lot of deep, like multi-dimensional change. It isn't just like, oh, the sun just moved into Scorpio. No, it's everything is shifting. And so that's my excuse. I'm blaming everything on the planets, and that's just what I do anyway. That's my default behavior. And if you don't like it, well, you can find something else to blame. Of course, I take full responsibility and ownership for my own being, my own existence, my own sovereignty, even though it might feel very, very painful at times and like a roller coaster and things are not fair. And then every now and again you have a sporadic moment of good fortune and you think, well, maybe it's not so bad. Anyway, I thought tonight I would just lighten things up a little bit and maybe do more readings for more people, but much less pressure. So if anyone's interested in a little micro readings, we can do that. And I'll show people how to do that if you're interested. Over here, for anyone who's watching, let me just check something. So I've been doing this for years, okay? I've done thousands of readings, tarot and astrology, but every time it feels like it's brand new. I get a little bit queasy, and we just move on. And so I thought maybe tonight, if anyone's interested, what I usually do is reach out. That's a polite way of saying asking for donations. You go to TarotLumination.com, maybe at a separate window or tab or a device, TarotLumination.com, and you can go to the button and put the donation that way. Very simple. It's just like online shopping, all right? Hello, Gregory. Hello, Maria. Hello, Love Driver. What is with all these purple crowns? You're a number one. You're a number two. Anyway, greetings, and thank you for all your generosity and kindness and loyalty after all these years and all our own ups and downs together, our shared friendship and stories, even though we might be thousands of miles apart. I still love doing this anyway. So, yeah. So, right now, if things are a little bit choppy, it's because my studio is very, very fragile these days because my beautiful little computer that I got when I was earning my living on my channel, and I had to say goodbye to my old computer. This one was terrific in its day, but it's very high mileage, and no matter how well I look after it, it's buckling under the strain. and every now and then it shows up again where the little, it does what it can. So if you're experiencing any kind of choppiness, it's there's a lot of things that go into a smooth show, and one of them is you have to have a really strong, stable, like, studio system. So I've had that, but it's getting very fragile, and so I'm migrating towards a new computer. Eventually it's going to happen somehow. Okay, it's not something you rush into. Anyway, so if anyone's interested, you can raise your hand or type it in the chat, and I will just pull cards for you and read from the deck. Let me show you what I was thinking. It's a good idea. I think it was fun, a little bit different, change it up, because sometimes I get so immersed in these very heavy tarot readings. But have a look at this. It's called, this one, I have lots of decks, okay? I have lots of oracle decks. I haven't used them in a long time, because that was like 7 or 8 years ago. But the decks are still pristine and as valid as ever. So this particular one is called Nature's Whispers. And let me just, it's easier if I just read from the back. I'll see if I can show you while we go. Nature is continually enticing us to spend time in her embrace. Through the calling of birds, the babbling of brooks and streams, the fragrant smell of the flowers and the whispers of the trees as the wind blows through their branches. Yeah. So you can see I'm still lingering in the Sagittarius vibes of nature and adventure and being outdoors. So through this vibrant deck, featuring the exquisite artwork of Josephine Wall, nature beckons you to experience a world of profound beauty and timeless wisdom. It's out of focus. Okay. Reignite your connection to the great spirit of Mother Earth and tap into the profound peace, healing, and guidance she offers us, if we only take a moment to listen. Okay? All right, Maria's up for it. There you go. I'll just put it right there on the screen. Let it sit for a moment. You can digest accordingly. And a little bit, you can see from the titles already why I've chosen this deck for tonight. So I'm going to start shuffling, and we're going to start with Maria. How do I solve a problem like Maria? So all I'm going to do for you, Maria, is I'm just going to shuffle and pull a card randomly. Okay? Cool. Okay, Gregory. All right, you're up. So you know what? I got another booking. Well, let's start with Maria. Okay? Because it seems like you're ready to jump on board. We'll just go wild. Okay? We're going to go crazy here. Just dive deep into the great beyond. How do you solve a problem like ... Yep, there you go. And we got another one coming up here for Gregory in a moment, just for fun. Yep, there we go. Hold on, I've got another one here. I forgot to put this one out. There's one from Love Triber. And let's have a look. All right, let's just put this aside for a minute. All right. I used to do a lot of this stuff. And sometimes all you need is one card to get a bit of a wake-up call. All right, Maria, I hope you're ready. Here we go. I'm going to put that aside over here. Just going to shuffle them up and then pull, show you the picture, then read from the book. That's all. That's all I'm going to do. So what kind of messages do we have tonight for Maria? Sorry, let me put this out of the way. I don't want to distract you. Okay, we'll put that over there. We'll put that over here. We'll put this over here. Make it look really professional, you know, because that's what we do here. We are a premium, top-of-the-line, artisanal, boutique tarot and astrology channel. And we have to live up to our worldwide reputation for quality, excellence. All right, Maria, I hope you're bracing yourself. What kind of messages do we have for Maria tonight from the ladies who created this deck? Angela Hartfield is the writer. She's the actual oracle writer. And Josephine Wall, you can see her there. Josephine Wall, she's the artist, okay? So it's digital art, but it's very extreme digital art. And this is years ago. This is from years ago. This is not AI generated. It's the older version, which is just digital artwork, okay? All right, here we go. Are you ready, Maria? I'm just going to pull one. You know, I'm going to cut as well. Again, for fun. And then I'm going to pull straight from the top. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Okay, Maria, it says here, heighten your vitality. Well, it sounds like this is a command. Wow. Well, let me just show you the imagery. Look, there's little angels way up in the clouds in the heavens. You're looking at your world. What am I going to do about this? And more angels down there. Obviously, the idea is that you're surrounded by angels whether you like it or know it or not. Which is good, because we all are. Question is, what are you going to do about it? So I'm hoping that the little story that comes out feels relevant to you in a personal way. Oh my gosh, it's one of the last cards. Wow. That's it. It's like, oh, it's almost the last card on the deck. Oh, look, there's the pictures of the art of the people. There's Angela Hartfield. And there's Josephine Wall. Oh, she's from England. And anyway, she's a, oh wow. These are high-class ladies. Okay, here we go. Very simply, it says here, Dear Maria, tap into the depths of your being and draw on your personal power. If you feel like your energy is low, infuse your mind with the warmth of sunlight and visualize this light bringing new energy into you. You have energetic reserves to draw on. Allow this energy boost to flow through you. Connect with others or do something that you love to continue creating the change you need. Spend time with a friend, smile, laugh, and share your human touch. So this really sounds like a command. You know, it's the way, her tone here. Come on, let's get it in focus for you. Come on. Come on, little camera. I would love it if, there it is. Okay, you got it? So you can pause the video later if you want. But the tone she's got here is that it's really up to you. It's already there. So if you're feeling low, your vitality is low, it doesn't, what she's indicating, it doesn't have to be. It's so easy to wallow in our own misery. It becomes like a drain, like a downward, what do they call it? A doom loop or a death spiral or something very scary like that, where if you start, in other words, okay, here's another way to look at it. Dear Maria, remember, energy flows where attention goes. So if your attention is focused on this, this, and this, and this problem, that problem, and that issue, and all these things that are challenging and create misery and pain and suffering simply by focusing on the problems, and they feel draining, it's like it's sucking the life out of you, you can make a choice to refocus your attention somewhere else. Oh, and you can, oh, I see. So you don't have, because it's so easy to get sucked into a doom loop. What do they call that? Doom scrolling? For example, if you're sitting there on your phone doing this and this and this, you come across a scary story that really triggers you, like something horrible happened to somebody, and you think, oh, that reminds me of something in my own life, and it gets you really triggered, and it drains you, and the algorithm sucks you further and further into more similar stories. Everything seems to get worse, and eventually your own personal vitality is being sucked and drained out of you, and you wonder why. And then you realize, oh, okay, well, it's me living my life. So you have to refocus your attention. So I think there's two meanings here. Yeah, it says, sure, heighten your vitality by choice, but by choice it means you have to remember that it's your right and duty and obligation and a privilege to make those choices. And you can ask for your angels to help you. Okay? Like, hello, dear angels. I'm really struggling around right now, feeling less than. And I would like to get back to my normal sense of vitality. Please, can you help me? Send me a sign. Lead me, guide me in some direction which gives me a little spark of joy and energy, and I can just carry on from there. Thank you very much. And start out and get out of the doom loop, okay? Thank you, Maria. There we go. Easy peasy. All right. I'm glad you liked that. I'm going to put it back in the deck in case somebody else gets the exact same card. I don't think that'll happen, but you never know. Weird things happen with card reading. Sometimes very strange things happen. All right, let's have a look. Thank you, Maria. Let's go over here to Love Triber. I'll put it like that. There we go. See? Easy. Easy peasy. If there's anyone out there watching, they've never seen it or done anything like this before, don't be too spooked. I feel that the cards themselves are more or less like props, like instruments to help someone like myself, a reader, a psychic reader, an astrology reader, a tarot reader, to tune in. Some people, like Necessary Truth, she visits her a lot. She's a natural, powerful psychic herself, but she doesn't really need to use props or astrology charts or cards or anything in the way that I do. She just goes, bam, straight into it. Ivona, greetings. Little Bubba has done well. Last night he ate a whole freaking can. Basically, I mean, he's a gravy licker. Okay, remember, Bubba is a monster gravy licker, so he finds ways to get around the little shreds and the nuggets and the tidbits of, you know, rubberized cat food meat. But he actually guzzled quite a bit of the meat as well as the protein and the sauces and the gravy. So I was very, very proud of him. And he's kind of been in a semi-food coma all day, because he had so much last night, and then I gave him a couple of treats today as well. So he's been very dopey. Sometimes he needs that, because some days he's all adventurous, he's all antsy and whiny. I want to go outside, I want to see out the front yard, I want to go to the backyard, I want to hang out and watch TV with you, all of those things. But some days he just wants to curl up. All right, Love Triber, brace yourself. We don't know what's going to happen here. We're going to keep it very simple. Okay, what kind of messages do we have here for Love Triber? No, I don't like the shreds myself. I love the gravy. And I do add a little bit of water to the pâtés. I squish it around and sweet, and he loves that. But I have found a couple of... He's so freaking picky. Anyway. It's taken me a long time to learn how to keep him permanently fed. Because, you know, at his age, food isn't really a very high priority. But I want to make sure he still eats as well as possible. So I have to basically get him to eat rich food in small quantities frequently, rather than big gorging type meals. All right, Love Triber, you're up. Here we go. Let's have a look. I think the cards are pretty well shuffled by now. I'm going to split it and then pull from the top. Okay? Are you ready? Whoa, that was a big split, folks. All right, brace yourself. We have Catch Your Breath. Okay, I'll show you the picture. Oh gosh, I'm getting confused here. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can get that for you. How about that? It's pretty gorgeous. I mean, if you can see, if I can get it to really capture the... Come on, little camera, you can do this. It's not the best camera, as you can tell. I've been using it a long time. Oh, well, we got something there. It's like a little fairy angel holding onto a tree trunk. A tree branch. Look at that. If you look in the mirror, you can see that's what you're like when you were a little girl. Okay? Look at all those. Look at the butterflies. Look at the acorns. Yeah, butterflies and acorns and leaves. That's what I see mostly here. You kind of have to look carefully because they're blended in. There you are, a little cherub. And she got some fancy jewelry on her right hand wrist. Okay. Oh, excuse me. All right. Catch Your Breath, card number 15. Here we go. It says here, I'll just see if I can get it lined up first and then I'll read it. Okay, just so we have it on record. Come on, little camera. And then you can pause the video if you have to. It says, okay, here we go. It says, take a break and enjoy a quiet period. This time can be used to regroup, recover, and stabilize yourself. It is wise to keep in mind the fact that this is for a limited period of time. You are pausing to regain your footing. As you evaluate your environment, check to see if you need to clear any ill will with anyone. Ask for forgiveness and be willing to forgive as necessary to move forward. Enjoy this downtime. Acknowledge the importance of recharging your own energy so that you are refreshed and ready to tackle life and any challenges that come your way. I'm noticing a tone with the writer here, this Angela Hartfield lady. She's basically writing in the language of direct command. Okay? Do this, do that. Okay? Of course, you don't have to, but she's basically like acting as an instructor. Make this choice, make this choice, make this decision, make that decision in order to get the outcome that you need, which is to refresh yourself by the process of catching your own breath. In other words, when you get swept up into the momentum of life and you're barely keeping up with everything, and it gets just cluttered with more and more and more and more stuff, different layers of anxiety and concerns about different people, situations, subjects, feelings, moods, things going on in the world on the big scale, things going on in the personal life at the very private scale, your mental, the health of your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul. It all needs nurture. It all needs deliberate attention in that direction. Some of you may remember years ago I used to do a lot of online, really weird vibrational energy healing videos showing people how to radically fluff your aura, clean up any auric type of, let's say, disorder, and then cleanse it all, and basically like fluffing yourself in the mirror before you go out, okay? But what she's doing here is issuing commands. And what I was sensing in one of the sentences is that it said here, check if you need to clear any ill will with anyone. Ask for forgiveness and be willing to forgive as necessary to move forward. And so the thing is that a lot of times we don't want to do that. It's because, like, well, why should I? I'm not the one at fault here. But again, it feels to me like people don't necessarily have to ask for forgiveness directly and openly as a form of, let me see if I can express this. Give me a second. I'm getting a strong feeling here about this. So they're saying, like, you got to clear everything. You got to do some clearing. That doesn't mean you have to sort of go back to someone and kind of go, oh, please forgive me for all the horrible things I might have thought and said and done against you, and resentment about this and that. And then the other person kind of goes, what? Or like, oh, yeah, well, yeah, you should have never done that in the first place, or whatever it is. What I was sensing when I was reading the card, Catch Your Breath, you can kind of do that in private, where you do your own cleansing from the inside out. You ask your invisible friends, your guardian angels, heaven, to basically to work through the clearing processes so you can effectively catch your breath, like they said, so you're not carrying any more leftover baggage. And it doesn't mean you have to go knocking on doors, sending texts and phone calls, like, hey, remember that time when we were arguing about this or that or something? You don't have to do any of that. You can do that through the ether, okay? Do the clearing through the ether. Ask your invisible friends and guides and angels to help you to work with whoever might be on the receiving end, and do it through their invisible friends and guardian angels and so on, because everyone has their own little team. So you can do that and it works, because I've done it myself, and it means you don't have to go on the, what are they called, where you have interventions or face-to-face type issues, because sometimes those face-to-face things, they backfire even though you might have had the best of intention. All right, so let me go back. So that's what I was sensing there. But again, these are commands. Take a break and enjoy a quiet period. Sometimes it's just this time can be used to regroup, recover, and stabilize yourself. And the inverse of the sentence is an indication that you need to regroup, and you need to recover, and you need to stabilize yourself because of being out of sequence and unrecovered and destabilized. So it's up to you. Again, it's self-healing. Another version, another form of self-healing there, so you can get back to your natural state of divinity and calm. So you're not walking around all day with cortisol flying through your bloodstream, or like in a state of permanent what's it called? Fight or flight. In other words, you hear that about deer in the forest. They're grazing, they're comfortable, they're happy, they're serene, they're calm. They still have their senses on alert, but they're not in a state of 24/7 paranoia about being attacked by wolves and coyotes and tigers and lions. Their senses are active anyway, and if they do sense something that's, stressful, then they respond accordingly. But you don't have to stay in a state of permanent red alert, danger, danger, danger. You can go back, deliberately choose a state of serenity, okay? That's what I'm sensing here. All right, I hope that helps. There's your mini reading. All right, who's next? Who's next, people? Chat amongst yourselves. I'm just going to shuffle here for a little while till I feel the deck is fully cleared. I'll keep an eye on the chat, see what happens. Who knows, it might be a very short night. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm feeling all sorts of butterflies myself now I think about it. And just look at the images there. This is the same image on the back of every card. Yeah. Hold on, I just got to check something here. All right. Oh, excuse me. I almost dropped the deck. One more pass, okay? Gregory, are you still here? Maria. Oh, you got yours. Yeah. All right, I'll hang in for a little bit. If everyone's just gone home or fallen to sleep, it's okay. Yep, okay, Gregory, if you're up for it. All right. All right, here we go, folks. This will be fun. It's a lovely, beautiful deck. All right. Actually, let me do a little preface here, okay? Cards are pretty nicely shuffled. I'll do a little bit more in a minute. I just want to go over something. Hold on. Oh, where was it? Okay, here we go. Sale. Oh, is that about the sale of the house or something? Okay. Anyway, so here's the chart for over the last few days. Today's a little bit different. This red triangle here is still here. It's pretty vicious. And the sun has just moved into Scorpio. Mars is in high degrees of Scorpio. Mercury's right on the cusp of Scorpio heading into Sagittarius. So there's a pretty fierce opposition right here regarding big money. Okay, very big financial things mostly. That's how it's going to be felt on the global scale. Yes, Jay Forever, I'm doing mini micro readings, so get in line and we'll deal with you in just a minute. I'm doing a little mini reading for Gregory right now. So anyway, the chart is still roughly the same. We still have this big fat grand trine right here. Beautiful harmonious energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces vibes. So it's very, very watery, Cancerian, if just, in your own homemade astrology in your own brain, you think of Cancerian energy, emotions, home, family, security, stability. Scorpio, power, money, control, sex, death, taxes, other people's money, deep psychic phenomenon, deep soul merger between self and another. And then you go to Pisces over here, the ultimate in divinity, tasting, getting an essence of universal love, being aware that there is something beyond our three-dimensional world, and so on. Okay? Anyway, so yeah, it's a very, very watery time right now for all the water signs, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. So if you're feeling like an overload with emotions or sensations or psychic phenomenon, that's to be expected. Anyway, the moon is already here. We've zoomed through Sagittarius. The moon is here tonight. So anyway, let's just put it on there. So anybody who has significant aspects in their own chart regarding Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, yeah, you might be feeling it pretty strongly. All right, Gregory, here we go. What kind of messages do we have for Gregory here tonight regarding sale? Okay, here we go. Remember, these are just little micro readings straight out of the book. I'm not doing full-blown tarot readings, but they still have a beautiful significance, okay? I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to pull from the top. Okay, you saw what I did before. And then I'm simply going to read from the little book, and we'll do an interpretation. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, this is your card, sir. We have here, open your heart. Look at that. Okay, I'll just show you the image. Let's see if I can get that nice and clear for you. Oh, come on, little camera, you can do this. Come on, little camera. Take your time. Focus. Let's see. Now, that's fairly clear. Anyway, you can see this spiritual woman embraced by like swan energy. I don't know what that means. I don't know much about swan. I used to bump into swans almost every day by a swan. By swans when I would go doing my like rowing things on rivers, because I used to do a lot of rowing on boats when I was a little kid. I just loved it. It was very therapeutic, and I'd always be bumping into swans, like moms and dads and babies, and they're very beautiful, they're very big, they're very powerful. You don't want to get on the wrong side, and they mate. Mom and dad, they mate for life. Anyway, let's just see what she's got to say about this. Let me see if I can get her. There we go. Look at that. Oh, look at that. There's somebody in the background. She seems to be swooning about something. And there's a planet. There's a guy, there's a girl, there's a swan. I don't know how to interpret that in terms of imagery, so let's just go straight to the book. Being strangled by a swan. No, Gregory, I see embrace. I see a loving embrace. Okay? Okay, we're looking at card number 10. So just as a reminder, hold on, Gregory, before I do the reading. Have you ever gone onto YouTube and looked at swan videos? It's quite amazing. It's really quite amazing. I love to look at little animal videos of all kinds. I don't know how to interpret. I'm not going to bother to try and interpret the imagery. That's up to you, whatever it means to you. and I can put it up on the screen again, but I wanted to remind people that swans are extremely powerful animals. They can fly long distances, and they can be very savage when it comes to protecting their children, and they're very, very loving as well. And some people who are close to swans for either for a living or for rescues or just through nature or living on, farms or homesteads where swans are welcome, swans can form very powerful, loving bonds with a human, okay? Okay? What's it? It is Scorpio season. We're like, not a pretty picture to me. Yeah. All right, let's get back over here. I'm going to do the reading itself, okay? Thank you, necessary. Yeah. Calm down, people. Jeepers. No. Well, the reason I was mentioning the swan videos is because these swan videos can show these graceful, beautiful animals coming right up to you, embracing you with their wings and curling themselves, their neck around your torso, your head, your neck. It's just beautiful, okay? I'm not saying this is a good or a bad reading about whatever it is, the subject, the house. We're just gonna read the reading, okay? We'll go from there. So here is the reading itself. Let's see if we can get that in focus. Hold that for a moment on screen. Come on, little camera. Oh God. Well, I'm gonna read it either way anyway. I just wanted to get it on screen for the record. It's not. Maybe it's the lighting. I don't know. I mean, you can see vaguely what it says, but I want you to see it really well. Okay, this isn't working. Let me just read it. Oh, this is really cool. Calm down, necessary. It's not biting, it's an embrace. Okay, it says here. I'll try and read it while it's there. Here we go. The truth of our world, nature, and environment is love. This is eternal love that makes no demands, has no expectations, and does not place limits or conditions on us. This is very, very Piscean, okay? There is an opportunity for each and every person to experience love at this deepest level if they are willing to be open. Love can and will flow into your heart, but only if you allow it. It will change your perception, nurture and hold you, and even give you the strength to endure hardship. Take a moment, open your heart, and allow love to bring you joy, serenity, renewed energy, passion, and total, unrelenting happiness. Okay. All right, okay, I'll go back. I'll show you the picture again. So, okay, there's the broad view. Let me see if I can keep it in focus close up. There, okay. Here we are, close up. If you're watching this on a big screen somewhere, it might have amazing impact. There you go. I see the swan as delivering love, bringing love. Okay? Now, how this relates to you, Gregory, regarding the subject of a house or a sale or something like that, it might be totally irrelevant. In other words, let's see what I said earlier about swans and what they do. They fly high. Look at that. Look at that. I've seen swans flying in groups or flocks. It's quite spectacular. God! Oh, Christ. Okay, here's one thing I learned about this type of Pisces energy, okay? Personally, I'm seeing this as a reading that's very much to do with the Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces grand trine, linking all the water signs together. And that's very, very powerful when it comes to psychic phenomenon, the deepest sense of deep soul connection, like with the Scorpio energy, and the emotional feelings of being loving and being loved, okay? But again, you have to remember, they didn't really say it there in the reading from the book itself. But I like to remind myself that I live off these bumper stickers, okay? Things like, I recite these to myself in the background all day, like if I'm driving around or something. Be loving, be loved. Be loving, be loved. Oh, okay. Or something like, I am loving, I am loved. And so on. I have lots of little bumper stickers. And one of them is, happiness is a choice. It took me a long time to learn that one, okay? Happiness is a choice. So it's sort of like the Four of Cups. If you can remember in tarot readings, the Four of Cups, there is the person sitting under the tree, totally immersed in the energies of, oh, I could have done this, I should have done this, I would have done that, if only, if only, if only. I mean, the sensations of regret and loss and remorse, and the feeling like, oh God, life sucks, if only this, how did I get to be here? But it's the Four of Cups, and in the background there's a little tiny cup which presents itself on wings like it's the Ace of Cups. It's sitting right there. It's right there. And what it's doing is asking you, like, hey Gregory, it's just a choice. Energy flows where attention goes, and if you're constantly focusing on everything and anything that doesn't work or is not working, then you're missing out on a lot of stuff that's over here, which is the lovey-dove stuff, where it's just like, oh, when you get to it at that level, like really super high frequencies interpretation of love, in other words, universal love, unconditional love, like it doesn't matter if horrible things are happening. Yes, it's very painful. Yes, I would like to have this, this, and this, and this outcome. But what really counts is I guess you could say it's the purity or the essence of love, the quality of love. And Gregory, we've worked together a lot, so you know you have a very very larger than life loving nature at the core. You can't help yourself. But sometimes it's so easy to get sucked into a doom loop, like we talked in the earlier reading with I think it was Maria. And it's very hard to get out of those. And so you kind of have to go, wake up, wake up. Look in the other direction. Attention flows, energy flows where attention goes, and then choose love. Choose love, even though it kind of doesn't make sense. You have to choose the loving option. And what does that loving option mean? In your situation, Gregory, whatever the story is that you're concerned about at the moment, is that you have to do what is most loving for you. You might be driven by a passion for this or an expectation of outcome for that, but ultimately, what is the best thing for you? Is a no sale better than a sale? And ask for guidance, ask for protection, ask for your guardian angels to give you signs, give you messages, okay? So that you're very, very clear and there's no ambiguity. And you don't have to sit there trying to figure it out using three-dimensional logic. Okay. What is that? Life Coach Q5I. Sir, I understand women doing this, but you? Come on, man. Oh, okay. Yeah. What's this about? If you know anything about swans, if their partner dies, they do too. I didn't know about that. Okay, I'm just catching up with the chat here. The guides are really testing me on the strength of my positive projecting. Okay. That is how I have felt since Mary Lou. Necessary. Okay. Necessary. Anything. Life coach. Okay. Thank you, Necessary. Thank you so much. I'm a girly man. I can imagine women doing this stuff, but you, a man? Good grief. You're an insult to manhood. I'm an aberration. I'm an anomaly. Okay? I'm a freak of nature. How about that? There we go. It's funny, I've had all sorts of comments over the many years I've been doing this and thousands of readings, but no one has ever come up with that one before. Oh boy. Uh-oh, there's a card that's backwards. I just forgot about that. Sorry, dumb. How did that happen? So, sorry, I got to keep shuffling. Where was I? All right. I don't know, Gregory. I don't know what these crowns are, or the number 2. Or number 1. I don't know what it means. So, sorry, I can't help you there. Maybe it just kind of means you're awesome. Alright, there we go. Wow. You were selected. It's a Scorpio season with Mars and Scorpio. Yeah, for sure. Mercury's in Scorpio. We're heading around the cusp, and Mercury's going to retrograde in a few weeks. Yeah, everybody run duck and hide. Why does Scorpio have such a terrible reputation? I don't get it. Why? You know, there's so many ways you can do astrology. You can go to the store, you go to a bookstore and buy all sorts of books and do everything exactly by the book. You can, some astrologers, they do a little bit of very elementary training, but they're very, very good at sales and marketing, and they invite people coming in with massive campaigns, and they just pump the client through the computer, and the computer prints out these huge, highly complex, in-depth readings for you. The astrologer just clicks it, turns it into a file, puts their name on the front of it and says, "Hi, this is a reading from me, Mr. Classic." And then they charge enormous amounts of money. Yeah. Everyone does it. There's some astrologers who are like super, I'm thinking of different ones I've known over the years. I've had some very good experiences with some of the, years ago, in the very early days of YouTube, some of the top astrologers at the time, I built up quite a good rapport with a couple of them, very good rapport. And one of them, her channel never really grew very big or very far, but she's very, very good. And then there was another one, I think she used to call it Astrolada, but her name is Lada Doncheva. And we were buddies for several years, but she's very, very, very good at media and marketing, and she became very successful, and she's still successful today. And she runs a stable. She has a stable of readers, like card readers, different astrologers, different psychics, and she runs it like a stable. And I think there was a lady called Kelly Rossano. I used to really like her, And then she kind of went off on a tangent, went into this, I don't know what her intention was, but anyway, it's different. Because Scorpios have stingers, yeah? Yeah, everybody is royalty here, yes. We're hyper elite. We are ultra special, highly discriminating souls. That's what we are. In my drinking days, I would say, you know, how I used to love really premium, artisanal, boutique, handcrafted beer. They're very, very good at that in New Zealand. Oh man, it's just beautiful. And I was at the grocery store today. You got a halo instead. Oh, Love Triber's got a halo. Anyway, I was at the grocery store today and I was looking, because I don't drink anymore. I gave up drinking years ago. All I drink these days is water, cold water, iced water, or just room temperature water. And then my decaf black coffee, and sometimes a real black coffee. And that's about it. And I don't know, it sounds very strange because I love all of that stuff. I love my whiskey, my wine, my beer, champagne. I loved it. I just loved drinking. I was never a major heavy alcoholic, but I was an alcoholic for a long time without even knowing it. I wasn't aware it was that bad because my body is very hypersensitive, sadly, and I'm kind of tall and skinny, and just the slightest amounts of intoxicants really have a powerful effect on me. And so I had to just stop. I said, enough is enough. I can't do this anymore. But the analogy for me is that everyone who comes here has kind of a sniffer or a palate that demands like boutique artisanal quality type material. Like if you wanted to go to some mass high volume astrologer, that's great. They're out there. They'll tell you your love life for the next month, and that's great. And I kind of provided those services for a long time, but then everything changed, and now I'm just here doing what seems right for the moment, okay? The theme song is Hustle by Pink, okay? Yeah. So if you look at the charts, let me go to the charts for a minute. Yeah, because it is very serious Scorpio energy right now. So I'm just going to grab this one here. Scorpio in modern astrology is ruled by Pluto, but some say it's ruled by Mars. And it's like Scorpio had a long reputation over thousands of years. Like you don't want to get on the wrong side of Scorpios. You don't want to cross a Scorpio, because the Scorpio will hold a very deep, dark, deadly, vicious grudge forever, until that grudge is balanced out. And they are highly demanding of loyalty, and they offer complete, absolute loyalty in return. They offer that, and in return they expect that. So any type of betrayal on a Scorpio type, that's the end. There's no workaround. Also, Scorpio represents the energy of birth, life, then death, or birth, procreation, and death. Birth, the creation of new life, and then death, and crossing over to the other side that is so scary for everybody. Halloween occurs during Scorpio season, and it's the worship and the respect of the dead. Yeah. Scorpio is also the house of big money, other people's money. Opposing that is Taurus, the second house of your money, your wealth, your talents, your gifts, your resources, your assets, some of which came with you at birth, some of which you have worked and developed in this lifetime. And then what do you do with it? Most people put it into a bank, or put it into a savings, or retirement, or a pension, or Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and pension funds and things like that. And then you have to go into a deep state of trust with these people who basically manage your money theoretically on your behalf for you, for a fee for services rendered. It's a little bit more corrupt than that. But anyway, you have to be very, very careful. Sorry, little Bubba is... It's time. Okay, I got to wrap it up, folks. I got to get going. The beast is growling. I got to feed the monster. I'm right here, Bubba. I'm going to take care of you in just a second. I'm going to wrap out of here very fast right now. It's been a pleasure. We'll do this again, okay? Thank you so much. Love you guys. Thanks for all the years of hanging